Yeah.
And we're on. Guys, thank you so much. It's a huge honor to have you on our radio show, Prescription Punk Rock. For people in home that never heard about you guys, who the hell are you?
After you, Brian.
Well, yeah, sure. My name is Brian. I play drums in the band American Television. We're based out of the DC area in the United States, and we're really stoked to be here.
It's cool, seriously, because I went to Washington, D.C., and there's so much history about the scene there, the punk rock scene. But for first of all, how that project, American Television, started up, how the ID started up, and how you guys met.
Yeah, our band was started by our singer and guitarist Steve. He couldn't be with us tonight, but he's kind of the founding father of our band. He relocated to the DC area from Long Island, where he grew up, outside New York City, and honestly used Craigslist to find musicians, like-minded folks, to try to start a band in a new area where he didn't really know too many people. And that's how we found myself. That's how he found our bass player Edwin. And then Jared just came along kind of as mutual friends, liking the same bands and being at the same shows and stuff like that. But three of the four of us actually met on Craigslist Musicians Wanted ads.
It's different than the newspaper that like they used back in the days. But it's pretty rad because I really love that project. You guys just released crazy EP with crazy and great cover song. But it's not the first release you guys did. You have a full-length records. I think it was released last year, if I'm right.
Yeah, we put out Watch It Burn at the beginning of or just before the pandemic, at the beginning of 2020, and we were really plugging forward, and like we had so much momentum behind us. We were really stoked on the record, and we played a string of shows. We played up in New York and Philly, played in Baltimore, and then on the way home, you started hearing stories about things trickling over here from overseas, and then before you knew it, everything was shut down, and we are where we are now. So it was kind of like a hurry up and wait to kind of like continue that momentum going, and we're really stoked on getting back into things. This whole EP kind of helped drive us through this. It was just something we looked at to kind of like save our sanity, so to speak. And what it was really hard for us in the beginning to write as a band, remotely sending ideas to each other. And so we just decided to pick songs from our childhood that, that got us started in punk rock, and, that meant something to us. And so we could all kind of get behind that. We already knew the songs. And, it turned out to be the perfect project for us.
Yeah, it's cool because it's never easy to choose, in that big catalog that is punk rock. But like you mentioned, it's the roots, and it's great because I'm gonna turn 40, so I grew up in the '90s where a lot of those bands were at their prime time. There was something happening in the '90s, but it's cool to see that right now it's kind of I don't know if the nostalgia, but people are getting back. It seems that a lot of bands reunite, and there's something in the air. I don't know if it was the thing at Washington when you guys just leave, with the pandemic, doing
Right.
like nothing.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like Jared said. We just put out the record, had some plans to like play more and promote it more and play those songs out, and then it just all kind of went away. There were bands coming through on tour that we were hoping to play with or see, and just everything just got shut down, and there was nothing. We weren't even seeing each other. So like we recorded all of these songs in our own houses without like, we've never played these songs together, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we recorded them at home, but we've never, like, in the practice space played one of these cover songs together.
It's crazy to just, saying it. Like,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
year and a half ago, we were like, you kidding me? It ain't gonna happen. We play together, we create together. But
Exactly.
yeah, that's the thing. But that's cool that you guys, decide to do something, not just we gotta wait and see what's gonna happen day by days. You choose to release something, and I think it's great because right now, with the social media thing, it's kind of the huge monster that you always have to fed. Because if you release the records like you did in January, now it's an old record.
Right.
Weird that.
yeah. Yeah, and so, the first couple of these songs we actually put out, we've released some of these along the way for benefit compilations, to raise some funds for a lot of different things that are going on in the world these days. And after we had done, two of them, we kind of got this momentum to do more. And then all of a sudden we had a collection. And it, like you said, it's kind of to keep ourselves engaged, to kind of like keep our social media followers engaged and all that kind of stuff. It was good to drop something out.
I guess in that case, we have Rob to thank for lighting the fuse. Rob from Wiretap Records has been amazing for us. To put out the record. And asked us to want to put out a song for a Black Lives Matter song. It kind of just, was the catalyst of us kind of starting down this path. So thanks, Rob, if you're listening.
But that's rad, nothing happened, and I really love the EP and the choice of you made, It started up with Nervous Breakdown, Black Flag has such an impact in the punk rock scene. When you guys discovered that band, did you ever saw Black Flag or?
I saw Flag, they toured, a couple years ago now. And so that was, Keith Morris and Charles Bukowski and Bill Stevenson. So it was, it was most of Black Flag. They're kind of having that little disagreement with Greg over the name and things like that. But they did that tour as Flag. So I never got to see them, in the heyday of the 80s or anything like that. But I did see that recent tour that came through.
I unfortunately did not have the pleasure.
Yeah, I saw them like at the Rock Fest when they came a couple of years ago. It was a furious set with Keith Morris, like back in the days, normally kind of pissed off, and it was in your face, and it was great with Cal Alvarez from the Descendants and all.
Yeah.
He never was in the Black Flag, but that was so cool. If you want a guy that fit, that's the guy. But did you Nervous Breakdown? A lot of every singer sang that song. But what is your favorite? Mine is Keith Morris, of course. The first one, I love it. But
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think when we were learning these songs in the isolation of our own houses, we kind of had to talk about which version we wanted to try to learn and which version we wanted to try to cover, and we just kept coming back to the one with Keith, the original one. So
that's cool. That's cool. So of course, Bad Religion and American Jesus. I think it was the song that started up everything. Before everything exploded. Bad Religion and Circle Jerks was the two band keeping the scene alive for like something like 85 to 91, 92, where everything got, in place for the explosion. But it's a classical song.
Absolutely. And like I've always had like a bit of a difficult relationship with religion. I was raised really religious. My mom's a devout Christian, Baptist, very fire and brimstone sort of thing, and I just never got on with it. And so that song just really resonates with me because I've seen that my entire life. So that I definitely kind of like lobbied for that one to be on the record for sure.
I realized so much to that. I went to really Catholic school when I was when I was a kid, and it was tough. We have to pray like 3 times a
Yeah.
day. But every kid that went to that school in high school went like crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here I am, crazy. I mean, I got into punk through listening to MXPX because my mom would only let me buy records from the Christian record shop, and so like I got Teenage Politics and then Life in General, and that just like lit the fire. Actually, Carl Alvarez was just on Mike Herrera's podcast. But yeah, that's how I got into punk, listening to MXPX, and then of course started listening to the '90s punk explosion, Green Day, Offspring, and then as soon as I heard that, I started digging deeper, and then quickly ran into Bad Religion and bands like the bands that we covered. So it's a beautiful world.
Yeah, yeah, and it's cool to see that there's a kind of new wave of band that coming up. So you're such in a great time right now, and I don't know if you felt that. I talk about the DC scene back in the days. There was something really special happened in the '80s. But Washington was never like a prime of the punk rock scene, the melodic punk rock scene, like it happened in LA. So how is it right now in Washington? How's the local scene?
I think Brian's the expert here.
Yeah. Well, right now is not great. Nobody's playing out and there's no shows. I think that's the same everywhere. But we've got a lot of bands that are doing kind of similar what we do. Like you mentioned the melodic punk thing. So there's bands that we're friends with, and we try to play the same shows with each other. There's a band called Curse Words that we're good friends with. There's a band called Celebration Summer that does a little bit more like Leatherfacey kind of gruff punk stuff. Like you said, it's not really the hotbed for melodic punk, but there are some solid bands playing out right now, or when we're allowed to.
Shout out to Kill Lincoln, my DC ska punk homies.
Yeah, a lot of people know them here. I love what they're doing. It's a great band. It's so cool that you guys keep the flag. It's really important.
Yeah, we definitely. Yeah. I mean, we definitely make sure that we say we're from this area, and everybody knows it. When they ask. So, we're a band that this is a hobby for us, so we don't get out a whole lot. We're not making a living off of this or anything like that. But when we do get to travel around the East Coast, we're definitely doing our best to represent the area. And then one of the things we really try to do is, create a stop for bands when they're touring. We make them want to come here is what we try to do. So that's how we're trying to like rebuild a little bit of a melodic punk scene here is by giving an outpost for touring bands to try to stop here rather than skip over town.
It can be a tough stop for bands too. I mean, a lot of times you'll see bands come through and you'll see the tour poster and you'll see Baltimore and then Richmond, and they just skip DC altogether. And I think some bands have had bad experiences here, and I think some bands have just had a hard time booking shows here. But I think Brian and Steve for sure have been trying to turn that around.
It's so cool, guys, because I always said it's the music is so important, but the people behind it, keep it alive. What you're doing, it's so cool, man, because like I said, something happened in DC, and I'm sure it can happen. That fire of that city, I went there, it's such a, everybody's working for the fucking government. It's, when you come to like 9 or, 9, 10 p.m., everybody's leaving the town. It's like,
Yep.
it's sad. Like, and I'm a guy from Quebec. We start the party at midnight, like,
Right.
like, where's the goddamn party in DC? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, everybody is on at Baltimore or what the hell. And I was staying in Maryland, outside, Washington, DC.
Yeah, I mean, I've played Pooza, so I know how you guys can fucking party up there. So I mean, I'm definitely jealous of the scene you guys have going on up there.
Cool. Yeah, did you not with that band?
Not with American Television. This was a previous band. So this was 2014. I played with an old skate punk band of mine called Toy Store Riot, which is now defunct. We don't play anymore. So my focus is with American Television right now.
Wow, cool. That's crazy. Because the Puzza, that will be great. That will be a total fit, you guys at the
Oh, we'd
Puzza.
love to come back. I mean, I'd love to go back with American Television. So if you can help make that happen.
Yeah, I will talk to Hugo and the guys. I know there's a lot of people involved. We're hoping there's a fucking edition next year. We skip 2 years of Puzza, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
kind
I saw they just announced like last week or something that they weren't going to be able to do it this year. It's a bummer.
yeah, yeah, and it's cool to see that in Quebec we've got festival like that because 15 years ago there was almost nothing. And Quebec always been a special place for band because we're a metal, punk rock, rap city. We fucking love to party and music, so band love that, and we have a huge love affair with love band. So when those guys bring that festival and the Rock Fest and Envolé Macadam, there was so many band coming up our way. It was crazy, and it's gonna be back. But yeah, I'm sure, man. We need you guys here. That will be rad.
Yeah, we'd love to come. Yeah.
Because I know how boring can be Washington. So
But next time you're down here, we'll take you out and we'll show you a different side to DC.
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. When I went like on the tourist side. So
Right.
we went for a week and a half. So, but I got to know the city, and I love it. And like I said, there's so much history. I wanted to go, see the Discord out, but the person where we were crashing really said you shouldn't go there on bus alone. It's not a good idea.
Really,
At that time,
it's not that bad of a neighborhood. It's really close to where I work. Actually, I work for a wine shop called Screwtop, and it's a 5-minute walk from there. It's a cute little neighborhood.
crazy, man. You work at 5 minutes of Discord
Yeah.
house. Like people, it's like, wow, you got them lucky. Hey, Yan, you want to eat this dinner?
Well,
Come
I
on.
think when you live somewhere, you get desensitized to things like that. It's an afterthought sometimes that it is right around the corner, and on occasion I will wander by there. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that when you live in a town that you sometimes forget about how close you are to the history of it.
Yeah, yeah. And Washington is really near, like you said, from Baltimore. I think something, what, 45 minutes, an hour?
About that.
Yeah.
So, and everybody goes there. I'm sure the drug is there.
Yeah, well, we love Baltimore. Baltimore is like a second home for us. We play there quite often. I mean, it's so close, like you said, that we've got so many friends up there, and it's just I love Baltimore. It's such a fantastic city.
Guys, did you start working on new stuff? How's going thing for you right now? And how's going in Washington? Are you still everything still luck, or it's getting slowly? I heard in Florida a couple of bands said that show start back, and New York too. So how is it in Washington right now?
So the last I heard is mid-June is when they're starting to lift everything. So probably just about a month away is they're going to open stuff with no restrictions. That's Virginia, and I think that's DC. So I think stuff's going to start picking up over the summer for sure. I think we're in a mindset right now where we're probably not going to do anything inside for a little bit until we see how things go. Like, even though we're all itching to do it, we want to make sure everything's safe, and that these decisions are being made with people's health and safety in mind. That said, I think there'll probably be some outdoor stuff happening this summer. People trying to play skate parks and other kind of public parks and amphitheaters and things like that. And we're kind of keeping an eye out for that type of thing. And I think that's probably how we're going to ease back into things. But, the expectation is by mid to late summer, things are up and running again.
Full disclosure, pretty rusty. We need to
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get you. Like we just don't realize it. Okay, it's gonna get back, and nobody really knows. Is there gonna be people, or people are gonna still be afraid, or? But I think it's gonna be crazy. I think people are so damn tired of stay at home that
Exactly.
they're gonna go to show, even if they don't know the band, even if they don't go to show normally, because everybody we're talking about that. And human, when we lost something, even if we don't do it, we know it, we can't. We just go for it when it's. So I think you're gonna be really surprised how fast things gonna be, because people gonna, like in Florida right now. What I heard is like people go like 400 miles an hour to get that a year and a half they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I'm hoping that there's just this fire burning within the scene that's going to explode as soon as the gates open. So, I mean, I think you're right. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I mean, I'm ready to get back at it. I know the rest of the guys are. So, I mean, we've practiced twice in the last year. We have our buddy Craig has a farm about an hour from here and a generator. So we made it happen. We jammed a couple of times, but we're going to start getting back at it. We're practicing this weekend for the first time as a proper practice space sort of thing right here behind you, behind me rather. So I'm excited. We've all been missing it, and luckily we have the solidarity behind us. Like we're all collectively as musicians and concert goers and just punk fans. We're all in this together, and we're all experiencing this together. And I think that sort of solidarity is gonna be the glue that holds it all together through all this bullshit. So. I'm stoked. I'm ready.
That's so cool to hear. Did you guys felt that there was maybe more people that get aware of what you're doing because of the pandemic? I felt that there were more people that was listening to music at home and checking everything and discover new band. And I know a lot spend budget that they put normally on show on band. Did you feel that there was way more people aware of, or at least just me?
Yeah, I mean, I think with this Adolescence release that we just put out last week, it's the first kind of proper release we've done throughout this pandemic, and we definitely have gotten a lot of people saying really nice things, meeting some new people like you, some people reaching out and being supportive. I do think part of it is people have been locked down, nothing else to do other than search the internet and find new bands. And then I think we probably kind of latched on to some of the nostalgia a little bit. As people are reflecting what life used to be, all of a sudden you're hearing all these old songs that we put out here. And it's been, it's been out for a couple of days now, but it's been a pretty positive response. So we're real happy with it.
It's like comfort food.
It's a glass of milk before getting to bed.
Exactly.
There you go.
But yeah, it's great, and you deserve it. I listen to everything you guys release, and I really enjoy it. It's the kind of punk rock I enjoyed and I love, and I know a lot of people are looking for that. And what I think it's happening, nothing happened for nothing. I repeat myself. I think that pandemic made a lot of people more aware of the local scene and the struggling that bands were facing before that. And they know how important culture is now and how depressed we get when we don't see live shows.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as musicians, especially punk musicians, I think we all are well versed in the struggle for sure.
So, guys, congratulations with that EP, and again, thank you for doing this, losing money in the name of music.
That's one thing we're very good at.
Yeah.
It is great that you choose to title it Adolescence. I don't know if a lot of people reach out, but Steve Soto is such an important, character in the scene, and so many people love the guy. So, releasing something, in the spirit of Steve, it's a great thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely inspired by that, and sad for that loss. Absolutely. We've had some people reach out and say, "Why didn't you cover an Adolescence song on your record called Adolescence?" But it was just more we're doing a whole tribute to our youth and kind of like, we picked the songs we picked the artwork we picked. I don't know if you saw that photo that we posted that kind of like rips off the Minor Threat porch photo from Discord House. So it's just kind of the total package, and it's not one particular thing, but it's, everything together. Just kind of like yearning for our youth and something comfortable, like you said, that warm glass of milk.
Plus, I'm always an advocate of adding a little humor into it too. So, the lack of the Adolescence song with the Adolescence cover, and then, like Brian said, the Minor Threat ripoff photo. Like, we just wanted to have a little fun with it, like a cheeky little spin. Just keep the humorous aspect of it, like having fun with it, because we're a fun band. We touch on a lot of serious social issues on Watch It Burn. But, we're just lighthearted, fun guys at heart. Like we just want to take it easy and have a good time, and we want to spread the right message, but, we want to do it in a positive way.
Hell yeah, man. Positive mental, positive attitude. It came from
Exactly.
Yes, it did.
Great. But it's great. And you're right to mention it. There's so much band that take themselves too seriously. And we're in the punk rock scene, it's just, it had to be fun, and I think that when it came to fun, that's where people are aware. That band are having fun, they're funny, and they get to it. It's kind of a human thing. They're just seeing like badass guy with glasses, and I don't care about you, you fucker. What the fuck?
If you're not having fun, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Especially while you're losing money.
We love beer here, and we love my brewery beer, so there's gonna be plenty for you guys. Make sure I'm gonna talk to the right person, and if it's not the Pudza, let's try to make an offer, another festival or something to bring your ass out here. Again, I repeat myself, I love that project, and for people at home that want to encourage you guys, that want to help you out, how's the best way to directly buy stuff from you guys?
The best way to directly support most independent artists these days is through Bandcamp. Purchasing songs and any merchandise that bands have on there. So our Bandcamp is amtb.bandcamp.com, and that's the best place. We've got music up there, but we've got shirts and stickers and vinyl and CDs and all that kind of stuff. So that is the best way to support. We're up on Spotify as well. That's where a lot of people hear new music and do playlists and that kind of stuff. So we're definitely we love people listening there too, but the best way to direct support is to purchase through Bandcamp.
And another shout to Rob at Wiretap again, who was supportive of us even before he put out our record. He's been huge and helping us move the band forward. And, we just can't thank him enough. And, support Wiretap Records as well. That'd be huge.
Guys, thank you so much. I seriously had the blast. Maybe they didn't warn you. You're stuck in a false contract that you never signed, that doesn't really exist, to come back as many times as you want on our radio show.
I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, no problem here.
I love you guys. I love the spirit of DC, Washington. I repeat myself, but I have such a great time there. Everybody will don't go there. It's boring. But, in life, you made your own fun. So, I had a blast there.
Great. Yeah. And like Jared said, if you get a chance to come back, let us know, man. We'll take you out to some venues and shows and meet some bands and see some things that you didn't see as a tourist.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And there's so much, I got friends in the pandemic with Clutch that from
oh, nice.
Too, but they're around, and we spoke a lot about the scene, and I'm supposed to go see him, so yeah, I'm gonna make a call for sure, man, for a beer and show me the bad side. Washington, D.C. Not like a museum, every museum is kind of free. Wow. When you get there, you're like, oh, that's why it's fucking free. So, guys, thank you for your generosity. We're gonna hear the interview in 2 weeks. I'm gonna send all the details to listen live because we're not a podcast show. We're live in the studio in CKRL 89.1 FM, but we've got the podcast available right after the show, and I'm gonna put the whole interview on YouTube.
Awesome.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And before we leave, can you do us a quick ID, just saying, "Hi, this is," and you're listening to Prescription Punk Rock. As simple as that. And if you just keep rolling, if you fail or something, no worries. I'm gonna edit it.
All right.
Hi, this is Jared. Oh, sorry. Hi, this is Jared from American Television, and you're listening to Prescription Punk Rock.
Fucking nail it. He did all the job.
Yeah. Do I need to go, or is that enough? I think that's enough, right?
Yeah, that's the point, man. Simple. Guys, thank you so much. Have a blast, with that release, and make sure that we're gonna keep in touch for show in Quebec and Canada.
Awesome. I'm gonna hold you to that, Eric.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Later,
All
man.
right, take care. Bye.
Cheers.